Today we are diving into a story from the ancient Hittite Empire. It's a myth about gods, betrayal, and a king who definitely flew too close to the sun. But here's the twist. This isn't just any story. This one is literally broken.
I mean, what happens when the ancient clay tablets that hold a god's entire epic tale just shatter, and they leave us with only pieces of their rise and fall? Well, that is the exact mystery we are digging in today with the forgotten god, KAL. Okay, let's get into it.
So, our story kicks off, like so many great myths do, with a massive family feud. And this is not just some small disagreement. Oh no, this is a cosmic throwdown for the throne of the gods.
At the heart of this whole conflict, you've got two main figures. On one side, there's Teshup, the powerful storm god, who's the reigning king. But on the other side, that's his father, Kumarbi, the very same god Teshup overthrew to grab power in the first place. And you better believe Kumarbi wants his throne back.
Really, this whole saga is fueled by one thing. Kumarbi is absolutely consumed by revenge. I mean, being dethroned by your own son, he's gonna stop at nothing to see Teshup fall. Which of course sets the stage for a new challenger to enter the ring.
So to get his revenge, Kumarbi needs a champion, right? He needs a weapon, someone powerful enough to actually take down the storm god himself. And, well, he finds one.
Kumarbi teams up with Ea, the god of wisdom, and they select their pawn. They choose a protector deity named God KAL, who's often symbolized by a deer. He becomes their secret weapon, created for one single purpose: to absolutely destroy Teshup.
And the plan? It works with terrifying speed. KAL doesn't just challenge Teshup, he completely dominates him. First, he takes down Teshup's fierce sister, the goddess Shaushka, and then, in a move nobody saw coming, the supposedly invincible storm god himself is defeated.
And just like that, the coup is complete. Kumarbi and Ea's plan worked better than they could have imagined. They proudly declare God KAL the new king of the heavens. The old guard is out and a new era has begun.
But you know how these stories go, right? This is where things take a classic, tragic turn. Because power, well, power can corrupt. And for our new king, absolute power is a temptation he just can't resist.
And this gets to a really timeless question. See, KAL was created to be a pawn in Kumarbi's game of revenge. But what happens when that pawn starts to really enjoy being a king and totally forgets who put him on the throne in the first place? At this critical moment, the wise goddess Kubaba tries to throw him a lifeline. She gives him some solid advice, basically telling him, hey, build some alliances, get the other gods on your side. If you don't, you're not going to last. It's a pretty clear warning.
But KAL, he's just drunk on power at this point. He completely ignores her. He thinks he's invincible, that he doesn't need anyone's advice. And this, right here, is a textbook case of hubris, that fatal pride that always seems to come right before the fall.
And his very first mistake? Alienating the gods who made him king. You see, Kumarbi and Ea didn't go to all that trouble just to replace one tyrant with another. Their perfect little pawn has gone completely rogue.
And right here, at the absolute peak of the drama, this is where our ancient source material just gives up on us. The story literally breaks.
It's almost poetic, isn't it? Just as KAL's entire reign is about to implode, the clay tablets that tell the story are found shattered. We're just left with fragments, little clues to a story we can't read in full anymore.
Now, what we can piece together from these fragments is the arrival of a new, incredibly bizarre threat. A cosmic force called Gumish, or silver, just shows up. And this thing is powerful enough to start pulling the sun and the moon right out of the sky. The chaos is off the charts, but the tablets break before we can find out who unleashed it or why.
So, with a broken ending, how can we possibly figure out what happened? Is the story of God K just lost forever? Well, not necessarily. We just have to know where to look.
To solve this ancient puzzle, we have to zoom out. You see, KAL's story isn't a one-off myth. It's actually part of a bigger collection of stories called the Kumarbi cycle. And this cycle, it has a very predictable beat.
When you look at all these stories together, a super clear pattern emerges. In every single story, some new monster or challenger rises up to overthrow Teshup. And for a minute, it always looks like the storm god might actually lose. But in the end, Teshup always, and I mean always, wins and puts the cosmos back in order.
And that gives us our most likely ending. God KAL wasn't the exception to the rule. He was just another chapter in Teshub's long history of defeating rebels. His own pride created chaos, and that chaos opened the door for the rightful king, the storm god Teshub, to inevitably swoop in and take back his throne.
So, that leaves us with one final thought to chew on. Does a broken tablet make for a failed story? Or does that missing piece actually transform it into something way more interesting? A timeless mystery about power, pride, and the echoes of stories lost to time.